What's up, YouTube? The reason why this video took so long to upload is because the series title is that I'm redesigning Twisted Wonderland Overblot designs because I'm unemployed. But actually, after I graduated, I got employed twice. So yeah, I was kind of busy with that. But I quit. To be honest, I was going to skip Leona, Azul, and Jamil because I didn't really have any ideas for them. But because some people were asking they wanted to see my take on them as well, so I was like, why not? I'll just do the entire Overblot line. And also, by the way, I'm in my closet. Oh my. I genuinely had no clue what to do, except there was one thing that always bothered me about Leona's Overblot design is his hair. I'm pretty sure everyone knows this, but Leona is twisted from Scar from The Lion King, a lion. So I was thinking Leona's hair isn't really giving lion's mane enough to my liking. There is this iconic look of a lion's mane, which I feel like the original design tried to resemble using the little fur of Leona's design, which doesn't look bad, but I wanted Leona's hair to resemble it instead of his little fur collar thing. I feel like the best example of a outfit for Leona that looks the most like a lion would be Leona's sleepwear birthday card, where his hair is all messy. And also, I do understand there was a vision in the original design with Leona's hairline in his overblot that kind of looks like Scar's little mane swoosh thing that I will put on the screen right now. But I feel like it wasn't pushed enough. There is a better example of doing something similar with a character's hair in Twisted Wonderland, which would be Fellow Honest or Ernesto, whatever his name is, with his hairline. So yeah, I kind of just exaggerated a little bit more. And also, originally, I tried making his hair tied up to kind of look like his younger self in the manga, but I ended up really not liking it because it genuinely looks like ass cheeks. So I just scraped the entire thing. And high key, this is where I got stumped and stopped this redesign for a month or 2 or 3. I ended up having his hair in this half up little high pony. I wanted the side pieces of his hair to be really messy and thick to have that lion mane shape. I was actually going to remove his braids at first, but then I did look a bit into the significance of braids in African culture and learned that braids signify stuff like societal status, health, and power. So in the end, I did go the completely opposite direction and instead gave him even more braids than the original, since one of the factors that contributed to his overblot is related to his royal blood. And also on the topic of that, I also made Leona's overblot face mask thing into the shape of a crown. And I also made his scar on his eye drip blot. And I was looking at his original design a bit closer, and I thought that the beads on his original necklace looked like teeth, and I'm pretty sure that was the original intent. So I thought hey, wouldn't it be cool if I kind of made this necklace look like a lion baring its teeth. But it did kind of look weird, so I spent a lot of time thinking about how to fix it. And in the end, when I put on the toggle for his hair again, I realized that half of it gets covered anyways. So what was the point of all the effort I put into designing that? So I just moved the entire thing down to be used more like a belt accessory, because I was not going to waste all the time that I tried fixing that necklace just for half of it to be covered or completely not used at all. And I immediately had another design block. So instead of facing my problems head on, I just went to a different part. I started coloring his face, and I wanted to give him makeup or like an appearance that makes him look more like a literal lion, you know, with like the snout and stuff. I also referenced Scar in the Lion King animation for like his iconic black eyeshadow thing and his bright yellow and green eyes. I wanted to keep the fur from his original design, but have it in like a different shape. So I just kind of followed the flow slash silhouette of Scar's silhouette. I did some research on alternative depictions of Scar and stumbled across the Lion King musical stage outfits, which are absolutely stunning, by the way. And I loved this like skeletal structure that they have on Scar's actor. So I took some inspiration from that for Leona's corset. And I also wanted to incorporate the skeletal looking arm accessory that they had, but it looked a little weird and out of place, so I just put it aside for now. But you see later in the speed paint that I do bring it back in a different way. Now for the bottom half of the outfit, I decided I wanted his top half to be like lightweight and sort of symbolize what he wants to be, and the bottom half be heavier and messier, like what he actually is in reality. I took some inspiration from Rei Kawakubo, who is a well-known fashion designer for her idea of anti-fashion, which is basically full of like unfinished hems, holes, and exposed stitching, creating pieces that look kind of deconstructed and with a lot of experimental abstract forms. Specifically, while doing research, I was reminded of one of her pieces, which is her jumper. I wrote down some of the factors that contributed to Leona's overblot. And yes, even though it did stem from his childhood, the last straw of like his breaking point was when his plan to defeat Malleus in the Spell Drive tournament fell apart. So I wanted to represent that by making his outfit sort of literally start falling apart and ripping from the seams. Something that looks incredibly fragile but also somehow still holding on. Moving on, I saw that in the Magical Archives book that Leona actually has this blot coming out from his hands, and I thought this was such a wasted opportunity. Leona has an ink tattoo, why not make it kind of like gain consciousness and have this lion come out from the rest of the tattoo to become this like blot creature. And now here in this speed paint, you can kind of see me trying again to do the skeletal arm thing from the Lion King musical. And it didn't look too bad, but then I stumbled across this image of like black veins, and I thought it would be more fitting if the blot on Leona's arms looked like veins to represent his bloodline and stuff. So instead, I moved the skeletal accessory thing to his legs, and it does make more sense to have it there since this thing looks super stiff, and I feel like it would be really hard to move in, which sort of resembles kind of how like Leona is dragged down because of stuff he can't control, like being born second. Because of that, he feels like he can never achieve anything real in life because no matter how smart or strong he is, it won't change the fact that he can't be king, and no matter how smart he is, he will be constantly compared to Farina and mistreated and neglected by everyone around him. Just accessorized him in a bunch of gold jewelry, whatever, and used like the chains on his waist from the original design to sort of wrap around his tail. And yeah, not much to say about the colors actually. I did use a different shade of orange by color picking from Scar's fur because I thought it would look better, make him pop out a little more, and also to make it look more accurate to the original source. I remember when I mentioned I wanted the bottom half to look heavy while his top half looked light. Halfway through, I did realize that the bottom wasn't really achieving that idea. Yeah, because kind of like how the material is falling apart, it's almost giving the opposite effect. So I did have to figure out something to add to the bottom. I was thinking maybe like some cape action, but that would be technically adding weight to the top. So instead, I went with these spikes. I knew I wanted something sharp to look intimidating and dangerous. I also added some more gold chains to these spikes just for more visual interest. And then the final touches. We're adding blot to some of the gold accessories, especially all the tooth-shaped ones, to symbolize how Leona is willing to use dirty tricks and to hurt people and cheat to achieve his goal, which in this context would be to win the Spell Drive tournament. So it's kinda like gold gotten through dirty means by using blot as a symbol. And yep, that's my Leona Kingscholar redesign. I struggled a lot more than I thought I would. And yeah, don't take any of this seriously. I'm not a professional, and I don't think any of the overblot designs are like downright horrible or anything. You know, I'm just a random teenager on the internet who kind of likes pretty clothes and art. So yeah, I hope he doesn't look too bad because I do have a bit of mixed feelings for this redesign. But anyways, coming next will be ugly. Please give me an 8 months.